Hey, what's going on? It's Pete Moriarty here. Great to be here with you. I am doing a little stream for you today, taking care of some of Google's latest updates. So these are all the updates happening in the Google Workspace world. Google publishes a blog and they let you know all the updates that are coming out. And they post every little minute detail, like sometimes some of them are a little bit boring or just maybe not that useful for business owners. And so what I like to do is I like to kind of pick through which ones I think are interesting and important to business owners and business leaders and actually share them with you. So that's what this video is going to be. It's going to be raw. I'm going to be kind of like exploring some of them and sharing them with you. And then I think we'll maybe cut this up and do a little bit of a summary on our main channel. So if you're not already subscribed to our main channel, head along to itGenius on YouTube, and that's where you'll get, I don't know, probably in a couple of days to a week, you'll get a tidier version of this video. But what we're covering today is the latest updates in Google Workspace. And Google have this great blog, which is the Workspace Updates blog, and it basically gives you a spot with all of the updates in one place, which is really useful. However, there's just so many updates in there, and there's so much detail. Even myself, I find myself not really paying attention to it. But certainly for our customers who are, if you are a busy business owner running your team, running your company, you're probably not going to have heaps of time to kind of browse through this. And so I'm going to try and distill it down as much as possible. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Pete Moriarty. We are a small business consultancy, and we help entrepreneurs systemize, organize, and scale their businesses using Google Workspace. And we've been working with Workspace for over 10 years. We're the top partner in Australia for small business, and we work with customers all over the world. And so if you're interested in learning more about Workspace, head along to our channel and check out. We've got plenty of videos on helping business owners with everything business and tech and the intersection between those two. But let's talk about our Workspace updates. I used to have like this little PDF that would come out once every month from Google, and it was like a kind of summary of what all of the previous month's updates had been. But actually, I went looking for it and I couldn't find it this morning. But they do have this handy help page which says ways to track new releases with 6 different places. So what I'm going to try to do is, I've gone through the latest updates for kind of the last month or so, and I've picked out some of the ones that I think are highlights that I think are important to kind of know about or notable. And I'm going to be sharing those with you. Now, if you're watching the live stream with me, you can go ahead and comment, say hello. I'd love to know where you're watching or listening from. I'd love to know, are you a subscriber? Have you been a customer of ours in the past? That'd be awesome. If you're watching the replay, then you can always drop a comment right below this video and catch up with us at any time. But either way, welcome. Great to have you here. So let's dive into it. Let's start looking at some of the actual latest updates and what has come through. So this is the first one we're going to cover. Your calendar status will now be available inside Google Chat. And Google Chat, if you're not already using it, is a pretty awesome tool. It basically runs our company, considering we have a distributed team. Google Chat is our way of keeping in touch and keeping connected. We chose not to use third-party tools like Slack, and I know some businesses will use things like WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger, which I think is completely nuts. But Google Chat basically runs our whole business, and we use that for everything. And one of the reasons why I like Google Chat is you have all these cool integrations with the rest of the Google world. And so what this latest update is that you can see here there's basically additional statuses being added to Google Chat. And so inside your Google Chat, you've got a status feature. You can choose whether you're available or whether you're away, or you can basically just leave it to auto. And when you leave it on auto, it's got some extra features here, like picking up when you are in a meeting based on your Google Calendar. So I prefer just leaving it on auto all the time, because it means that it's just going to automatically let people know what I'm up to if I'm in a meeting. That is pretty cool. But you can see here, when you set your Google Calendar for different statuses, I'm going to zoom right in because those icons are really small. When you actually set your statuses on your calendar, can you see there's this one's in focus time and this one is out of office. And so what that means is it's actually going to pick up the additional calendar statuses and actually overlay them into your chat. Now, if you haven't used those before, they're pretty damn groovy. And so when you are in your calendar, let's say, for example, tomorrow I don't really have anything on. I'm out of the office. And so after my flying lesson in the morning, I can drag a big long calendar event there, and I can choose out of office. That would be the most appropriate. And I can just hit save, and that's basically going to automatically decline any meetings for my team when I'm out of the office and not available for any meetings, which is pretty cool. But the other thing there is, let's say on a work day, maybe this afternoon, I want to put aside some focus time for some deep work. I'm going to go ahead and click onto focus time, and focus time is going to let me do that. There we go. So let me save that. And I'll go ahead. I will save the out of office tomorrow because I am going to be out of office. I'll probably be camping. It's Good Friday, going away for the weekend. So there we go. We've got that all saved there. So that makes it really easy for your team members to know what's going on, where you are at, particularly with remote teams, or let's say if you're out and about on the road and you have team members messaging you on chat, they're going to know exactly what you're up to, which makes things really convenient and really easy. So great feature, big thumbs up. Thank you, Google. Love that one. Okay, cool. So let's move on to the next one. Now, I already covered this one in a reel. This is a way to actually create emails from Google Documents. Pretty damn cool, right? And so it's using something called, I can't remember what they call it. It might be smart cards. But basically, when you're in a Google document, what you can do is you can actually create a new email draft and use your Google document as a place to draft up that email, collaborate with other people on the email, and then actually send it with one click right from within the document, which is pretty groovy. So let's go and open up a new document because I want to demo this one. I haven't actually done it myself yet, I don't think. So just go to doc.new to open a new document if you haven't done that before. Cool. And to get started on it, we're just going to use the at button, and then there we go. It's via AI. Thank you very much. It's opened up email draft as a suggested option there. But otherwise, you would just type the word email, and email draft will come up there. Here we go. So it's opened that up for me. And so, from here, we can type who it's to. So maybe I want to type that to my CEO, Scott. Send that over to him. I can CC anyone I need to. It should actually pull from my address book, which is a little bit odd that it didn't pull up Scott, but maybe let's type in Adrian as well. There we go. At least Adrian's in there. Great. Subject can be anything I like. And then I can go ahead and write my email message. Now, anyone who is on this Google document has the option to collaborate on this. One of my favorite features is to use suggested edits. And so let me just move my picture out of the way here. So on suggested edits, you can click through and create a suggested change. So let's say I want to just hit the backspace button and delete that. It's not going to delete it from the document, but it is going to open up a comment and basically suggest that change is made. And then from there, people can, type their own comments and other bits and pieces as they need to, have a bit of a conversation about it, which is pretty handy. But what's wonderful about the suggested feature is, let's say if you're a manager or a leader and you have someone that you're coaching or working with or, supporting as a leader, and you want to, give some suggested improvements to what they're doing. When you're working on a Google Doc and you go in there and make the changes for them, what that does is that actually it reiterates the behavior that someone brings you issues and you solve them for them, right? Whereas suggested edits is like, hey, look, you've done great work there. Here's what I suggest you do differently, rather than you actually overriding the work that they've done, and rather than creating the loop that you come in and fix the problems and update things for your team. So I like this better using suggested edits. I often use that for my team. And it also gives your team the opportunity to really own the work, whether or not they want to accept the edit or not. That then empowers them that it is their choice. So I like that one. Okay, so this little spot here says when you have finished writing the email, you can easily convert it into a Gmail draft by clicking on this button. Got it. Cool. All right. So where did that button go? I don't know where the button went. All right. I've lost the button. Is it over here? Oh, where's my button? All right. Let's try opening it. Let's try opening a new one. Oh, because I'm still in suggested. There we go. Okay, great. So we got the button back. We just click that button, preview in Gmail. It's creating the draft and it's popping up here in the lower right-hand corner. It's going to take its time. I have a very big mailbox. I have over 300,000 emails in my mailbox. It's over 10 years of email in there. There we go. It's ready to go. And I can literally just go ahead and click the send button right from here, which I'm not going to go and do. because my team will be very confused. It does happen from time to time. I jump on a live stream and do crazy stuff, and then my team are left to work out what the weird messages I'm sending them actually mean. All right. So that's covered. Gmail, that's a really cool feature. I love that. Our next one is moving over to Google Meet. And Google Meet have actually added in some new management settings for administrators. So let's have a look at what we've got here. So basically, these are a set of policies for Google Meet. And so when those team members are participating in meetings, you can basically switch on and off some of their features, like chat on and off, whether or not they can present, whether or not they can participate in Q&A. Now, if you're a small business owner, this is probably not that interesting or useful to you because, if you've got less than 20 people in your company, why would you want to switch anything off for anyone? But if you've got more than 20 employees, maybe you've got 50, 100, a couple of hundred, you're in that more kind of mid-market or enterprise space, well, you're more likely to have different groups of users, and those different user profiles would very likely have different use cases for Workspace within your organization. So, for example, maybe you have like a town hall style meeting, and you want to have, like a couple of hundred people joining that meeting, but you don't want anyone to be able to hit the present button and accidentally interrupt the presentation by overriding and presenting. Let's say, for example, maybe you've got a manufacturing business and you've got like a whole bunch of floor staff who really just need to kind of like tap into the meeting and ask questions, but not necessarily have, like random chit chat filling up the chat. Then these are the kind of policies that you could use to restrict something like that. And so in the admin panel, you can see on the left-hand side here, you can set this up based on the organizational unit, or OU in IT speak, and actually, configure what groups of staff you would like to have this set up. Now, like everything we do, we recommend that you kind of know and understand the high-level feature and understand what this may be used for as a use case. But we don't necessarily recommend that if you're a business owner yourself, that you're getting in and fiddling with these kind of settings yourself. This is more appropriate for our team to do, our concierge team, or someone who is your dedicated IT professional who's helping you out with your Workspace account. So if you're interested in that, you can, of course, reach out to our team, and we'd be very happy to help you review all of your policies right across your business, right across your Workspace account. And they can cover things like desktop computers and what happens on Google Chrome. They can cover if you've got any Chrome devices like a Chromebook or a Chromebox. I'm currently operating from my Chromebox. And they, of course, cover any mobile devices and any settings within the core Google Workspace apps themselves. So great options there for updating Google Meet. Good to see. Google, bit by bit, they kind of release something, and then typically enterprise and corporate customers will ask Google to implement more features around policy, around management, and then bit by bit, Google does implement those, which is really good. Next one I want to cover. Let me try that again. Next one I want to let me try that a third time. Next one I want to cover is using your Google Calendar as an appointment booker. And this is a super, super awesome tool. Not many people know about this because there's plenty of other apps out there that filled this gap for Google. In the old days of Google Workspace, one of the best things about Google, and where it really shone and stood aside from the Microsoft world, was that Google was really open to third-party developers creating apps and extensions to integrate with the Google Workspace ecosystem, which was at the time Google for Business, Google Apps, G Suite, the million different names that it's been through. And one of the great things was because it was web-based, it made it really easy for developers to create additional tools. One of those tools that many developers rushed to create was appointment scheduling tools, and you saw things like Schedule Once, Calendly, Acuity scheduling, and all of these applications pop up and be your scheduling tool. Now, for many business owners, that allowed them to, get a lot better. Let's say, what did it help you with? It helped you with scheduling outside your business, like internally within a business. It's always been pretty easy to schedule meetings with your team members because you can see everyone's calendars in Google Workspace. But outside the business, that email ping pong of going back and forward of like, are you free Tuesday? Oh, how about Wednesday? Oh no, someone took that spot now. How about at 11 a.m.? How about 12 p.m.? That was a complete mess trying to organize things. Whereas now we can just drop someone a calendar link and say, hey, book in a time that works for you. And it, really saved trying to organize meetings with people. Do you remember those days? Remember when you had to email back and forward and say, hey, here's the times that I was available. And by the time they emailed you back, then, some of those times had disappeared. Absolute nightmare. Bringing it back to the Google world, this feature has always been available in the background, but it's been a little bit hard to find, and it's always looked absolutely butt ugly. I've really not enjoyed it at all, and I've never really used it myself. But Google are letting us know that they've just made a sexy update to it. And so, as you can see here, big update's been made. And from here, you have the opportunity to create a page that is actually visually appealing. And if you just need the basics, this is probably going to be good enough that you don't actually need to use third-party scheduling software. And so if right now you're just using Calendly and you're just using like the absolute basics, then this might actually be enough for you to use. One of the things I like about this is it's also going to create a Google meeting automatically. And you can see there it's even going to capture people's contact details when they make a booking. Now, I don't know if there is an API. I don't know if it'll connect to Zapier yet. I don't know if you'll be able to pull out those leads and automatically put them into something like like a CRM system or something like that, which would be very handy. But it is a pretty cool feature. It's there. It's available for Google. The other thing is, as you grow and you scale a company, as you scale an organization, it makes sense to have less and less technology tools. Number one reason for that is you don't want to run into subscription overwhelm, where you are just having everything add up, your costs add up, your complexity adds up. Trying to onboard staff is a complete pain in the butt because you end up in this place where you've got 3 million different software apps. And unfortunately, every time you onboard a person, you have to sign them up for 10 different apps. And that's why I advocate for using as much as possible everything in the Google world rather than doubling up with Slack and Zoom. And, now we can put Acuity and Calendly in the same basket as well, because ideally you want to keep things simple. When you scale, like once you're north of 15 employees and you're off to scale town, you just automatically start running into multiplications of IT challenges for each additional subscription and each additional app that you're using inside your business. So as much as possible, even if you only have 80% of the features that you're used to using, do things the Google way, because it's going to make it easier for your business to grow and scale. All right, so I'm going to check and just see if there's any comments or chats. No, it's all looking okay. Looks like my stream is still going, so that's wonderful. So we are all rocking and rolling. Maybe let me know in the comments, like when would suit you for streams. Let me know where you're at. It'd be a good idea to get an idea of where you are right now, so I know where our audience is. Obviously, I've got our analytics and that kind of thing, but I'd love to know, for those of you who want to check out live streams, where are you? Where are you calling in from? I've done this in the morning, Australian time, which will hopefully be convenient enough for our US customers and our US crowd. And sorry about that, UK. It's 2:00 in the morning for you. But most of our customers are either in Australia or in the US. Okay, so we've handled calendar. Let's move on to the next one. Google are now introducing security updates for it's not just a security update. Google are now introducing an encrypted document format, which actually works on client-side encryption. And what that means is it's a level of encryption that you can actually control yourself. And so this is pretty damn cool. This is something that is coming out. You can see it's got a little fancy logo and everything like that. Google basically gives you the opportunity to create a encrypted document. And from that encrypted document, you get to actually control the encryption. So there's actually a video about this. So why don't we roll the video? I'm pretty sure I've got audio here. Let's give that a go and check it out. Oh, it actually says no audio. Okay, well, I'm going to give you a I'm going to give you a little walkthrough as I watch it with you. I'll do a live reaction. Okay. That may be what we've just seen in the GIF on the actual help document, but let's see. It's only a minute and a half. All right, so you open a document. You're going to call it what you want. It's going to be an encrypted document when you start it. The secret sauce. Okay, so yeah, this is obviously where you're going to hide the 11 or 13 secret herbs and spices. Cool. And then we're going to go ahead and share it with someone. So my understanding with this, I had a quick read of the document, is that Google will not be able to see any of that data because it's being encrypted on your side. I assume by your account in some way. And so, here we go. You can actually use an external key service as well. Oh, that is very cool. Wonderful. All right. And so that I assume you could use something like a YubiKey or something else that would give you the opportunity to. Oh, there we go. My phone's ringing in the background. I assume you could use something like a YubiKey and give you an opportunity to actually encrypt that based on a hardware device, which is pretty damn cool. So that looks like an excellent feature. Thank you, Google, for that. I'm not sure exactly where I would use that in my business. I'm pretty satisfied with Google's level of encryption at the moment by default with their applications. I know that between me and Google, my connections are all encrypted. And when I'm using a Chrome box, they are so locked down on security. It's next to near impossible for anyone to get access to the actual information that's flowing back and forward between myself and Google's documents. You'll see here if I open a Google document, it's probably going to be a little hard to see here in the actual. I don't think I'm going to be able to zoom in that far. Sorry, guys. But there's a little lock key, which means that any Google document format that you're working with is in HTTPS. And that HTTPS is basically encrypting traffic between your local computer and Google's servers, which means that, effectively you are safe. You are safe in that your data between you and Google is fully encrypted. But this is an extra level of protection if you do want to go to an extra level of protection. Thank you, Google, for that one. Pretty groovy, huh? Okay, so this is a little bit of a fun one next. Google have now added emoji reactions to Google Documents, which I think is just absolutely amazing. And so when you're in a Google Doc, instead of adding a comment, you can do an emoji react to a paragraph, to an image, to anything else that's happening in a document. I assume this will also come to the sheets and also come to slides as well, so you can access it from everywhere. But I just think that's absolutely amazing. I'm all for any way for us to express how we are feeling about something in the workplace. That's great. But most importantly, I'm interested in anything that helps us connect over our work. And what I mean by that is, we're in a day and age now where remote work is becoming the norm. We've been talking about this for years and years and years pre-COVID, but remote work has been accelerated to now very quickly become the norm. And hybrid workplaces are the new norm. We are never going back to the way that we were. We've all been unplugged from the matrix and no one's going back. And so in this space of working remotely, we really need to work out how can we still feel connected and how can we still do productive work with different team members, even though we're geographically dispersed. And something like this gives you an option to connect over your work. I'm all for it. It may seem silly, and if you're someone who is over 50 or 60 years old right now, you might be getting the bar humbug in the back of your mind, but trust me, this is really, really great for work, and it's going to be great for productivity and great for your team as well. So get on those emojis. Give me a thumbs up if you're loving this. Drop it in the comments. Say hello. Okay. So we have some additional very small basic improvements for Google Meet. This may be a one that you don't care about, but I'm going to throw it in there anyway. Google Meet will automatically kick you out of a meeting now if you've left it open and running for a couple of minutes. It saves any embarrassment if you've forgotten to exit a meeting and left it running in the background. And what that means is after a couple of minutes, it's going to give you a prompt and then it's going to eventually kick you out. Now, this does save one really important thing, and that is that typically when you are recording a meeting, and we use Google Meet recording in pretty much every single meeting that we're using, quite often I will jump on a meeting and I'll be briefing my marketing team on a set of ads that we want to run, or maybe a concept that I have for a new campaign. And because I just want to kind of share things stream of consciousness with my team, they just hit the record button. They're like, shit, Pete's going to say this once. He's not going to say this the same way again. So let's hit that record button. So the team will hit record and they'll just listen to me kind of do my vision thing and share what I want to share with the team. Now, the team will then go and watch that back and make sure that they get the notes perfect for exactly what I've shared. Really convenient for me and works great for the team because there's no reliance on having to worry about getting notes down on the fly if I'm in stream of consciousness sharing things. And if you're an entrepreneur who's more on the visionary side of things, then that would be a great feature or great tip for you to use as well. However, there is a challenge. And the challenge is when it gets to the end of that meeting, maybe there's 4 or 5 people in that meeting, sometimes one person will leave the meeting open on their computer and Google won't finish off the recording and it won't render the recording until that last person has actually finished up. And so if they go and take their lunch or they take a break or whatever, you can end up waiting for someone to exit the meeting before the recording is actually finalized and sent out to the participants who were in that meeting. So this is a great feature. It's basically going to do Are You Still There? A little bit like Netflix if you've been watching for too long. And then eventually it's going to kick you out. And then, yeah, here we go. You can see another prompt there in the actual Meet screen. It's going to kick you out of there, which is very, very useful. Cool. Are you loving this so far? Let me know if you're loving this, guys, and let me know if this is something that is useful for you or not in your business. If you have any questions about it, I love answering questions. Just drop them right down below this video. All right, our final one. This is a pretty dope feature coming to Google Documents, and that is the ability to join meetings right from your Google Docs. And so I assume this will also come to slides and to sheets as well. But right from a single document, you can jump into your meeting just using Google Meet. Now, this has not yet been enabled on my Google Docs. I can't see it here currently. I assume this is being rolled out soon. They'll probably tell us exactly where it's going to be rolled out. Oh, here we go. Starting May 2. Oh, okay. There we go. Rapid release, starting rollout for from April 12th. So it's only been a couple of days. It'll take a couple of weeks for that to go right across the globe to everyone, and I'll eventually get access to it. I'll let you know probably on Instagram when that happens. By the way, if you're not following my Instagram, just head along to moriarty.co. That's just my surname.co, and you'll get the links to all my social profiles there, and I do stories and that kind of thing when cool new features like this come out. But basically, this is an opportunity for when you're working on a document in, for example, a single monitor environment. Maybe you're working on your laptop and you want to connect with your team as you're collaborating on that document. We do that often when we're working with our teams. This is an opportunity to jump straight into that meeting from there. I think they're going to bring this feature to Gmail. I think they're going to bring this feature across, pretty much across the whole Google ecosystem. And so it's pretty darn awesome as a feature. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what other things Google do. I see Google now have kind of built out the pillars of each one of their applications. They've got Gmail's been amazing for a decade. They've now got Google Chat, which is pretty damn good, can do pretty much everything Slack can do. They've got Google Meet, pretty damn good, can do pretty much everything that Zoom can do. Google Docs, not quite there just yet, I would say, in what Microsoft can do. But they're pretty damn good. I mean, the level of collaboration that you get in Google Docs, I haven't touched a Microsoft format document in nearly 10 years. And let me tell you, the collaboration features of Google, as well as the AI features, the stuff that goes into Sheets with, like AI-driven pivot tables and all that kind of stuff, it's pretty damn amazing. Not yet enough to get the whole world across into the Google world, but we're still working on it. And so what I see now is that Google's built out all their kind of pillars in their business. And what they're doing now is they're working on the interoperability and collaboration between all of their different apps. So you can seamlessly be effectively in any one of their applications and work across them. And what I love is, in things like Google Drive, you can now have your calendar available on the side. If you're in Chat, you can have your calendar there. If you're in Gmail, you've basically that's the dashboard for all of your work all in one place. Now, if you're finding that you're on a small screen and you have to put all of these, kind of like in one place, I would say consider maybe a larger monitor. I've got a 4K monitor that I'm working from here, which is why some of the things look a little bit small. And that gives me the opportunity to actually have like a document or typically my notes up on one screen. And then on the second side of the screen, I just kind of split it down the middle. On the second side of the screen, I'll have something like a meeting typically where I'm working with my team as well. So, if you've got this far, thank you so much for joining. Wonderful to have you here with me. That's it. That's the wrap. If you're interested in learning more about this, you can head along to the Google Workspace Updates blog. That blog basically has everything you need to know about Google Workspace, and you can subscribe to it if you want. But if you're not interested in that, well, you can just go ahead and remain subscribed to our channel. And I'm going to be doing these from time to time if they get enough traction. So please make sure you write me a comment down the bottom and say thank you, Peter, because that will keep me doing more of these. And if there's anything else that you'd love to know about Google Workspace, drop me a message, hit me up on socials, jump on that link that I shared earlier, and let me know if there's more content that you'd like me to create. I've been doing this a long time. We've been working with Google for over a decade now. We were one of the first partners in Australia, and we're one of the only partners left in the small business space. Many of those businesses kind of shifted, and the product got so easy to use that many business owners just do it themselves. But we've carved out a very small niche for ourselves, which is helping business owners systemize, organize, and scale their business using this technology. And so we kind of like try and find the intersection between tech and business. And we help business owners from all over the world grow their businesses using Google Workspace the right way, as well as the ecosystem of add-ons, integrations, and additional apps that help small businesses. So if you're interested in learning more about that, head along to our channel, check out the other videos we've got. We've got a growth roadmap which helps you at different stages of business implement the right technology at the right time for your greatest success. And if you are a Google Workspace subscriber, but you're not yet working with us, we have a free offer to transfer your licenses into us. You don't pay any extra, but you get access to discounts. You get access to additional training inside our Genius Academy. You get access to our support team for a basic health check on your account. And of course, if you do need support at any time, you can upgrade to one of our concierge plans and get access to a whole lot more. Thank you so much for joining. It's wonderful to have you here. If you like this content, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video.